Hello everybody, welcome to Prudent Unspeakable program. Today we are going to discuss on how we can protect our children from child abuse. We have with us today Ghazal Khatib. She is a clinical psychologist who is actively conducting workshops, seminars, training programs on positive parenting and issues related to children. We have with us Mr. Matthew Kurian, who is the co-founder of El Shaddai Charitable Trust. He's been working on child related issue for about last 20 years, and his life aim is to help children who are deprived, who are from street slums, and give them a hope and a future. We have Candy Fernandez, who is all the way come from UK. She is a friend of El Shaddai Charitable Trust. She has 27 years of work experience with National Health Service UK under Child Mental Health department she has been working. So, I would like to start with Ms. Khatib on how, what is your view, what do you think so that what is child right, the important child right, and why you think it is important? You can just share your view.
Yeah, let me start with saying about what is fundamental rights in India. Fundamental rights is defined as the basic human freedom, where every individual can enjoy and prosper and harmoniously develop the personality, and it is irrespective of caste, religion, place and age. So child rights is very important, and the 5 important child rights are right to education, right to shelter, right to food, right to clothing and right to participate. And children being such an important part of our society, it is we that have to take these rights seriously and help the children attain these rights, because children are the future of our country.
Yes, yes. And why you think so is important for children to have their rights?
Because children are human beings, they are not some other person, so even they need to express themselves. They have the right to express themselves, whatever they feel. So, as every individual has their own right, and the children also need to have their rights. And they have been, there are many cases where children are facing many difficulties.
Okay. Mr. Matthew, maybe you can share your point of view. Why you think so children need to have their rights?
Children need to have rights because they are the future, and they are the human beings, and they are the ones whom we have to care for. And like Ghazal said, we are a signatory for UN Convention for Child Rights. That means we are responsible to provide food, shelter, opportunity for development, and opportunity of participation and education. These are the fundamental rights which we as the government and the public has to provide for the children. And why the rights are important? Because if you give a child a chance to be developed with a safe, healthy environment, we'll have a healthy society in the days to come. Most of the adult young people who go violent or aggressive or in the wrong paths, who become social evil, it's because they've been battered or they've been hurt or they've been bruised in their childhood. Their rights were not provided, so they grew up in a very unhealthy, deprived environment. So that makes, see, if you grow up in an unhealthy, deprived environment, that's what you can give out to people. Exactly. So why child right is important? Because that's the way you can develop better citizens for our country.
Yeah, yeah. So as we all know that child abuse is happening in Goa. It is happening in every home, in every school, in every institute, in every place that you go. Even in the marketplace or fish market you go, you see children being abused. There might be children who are employed as a child laborers in the chai shops. So you will see very young girls who are employed as a housemaid in the homes, and there are so many kinds of child abuse which we see in our everyday life in Goa. Um, Goa is Goa is one of the states which I should appreciate actually in Goa. We are the only state we have our child right policy, a child right act in place, where we have our children's court which is supporting many juveniles, many children who are abused. We have so many NGOs in Goa who are working with children related issues like CRG, Childline, El Shaddai Charitable Trust, and there are so many other NGOs who are working to cater to the needs of these deprived children who are abused. So, El Shaddai Charitable Trust is organizing a 19 days campaigning for prevention of child abuse. The campaign started off on 1st of November. It goes on till 19th of November. El Shaddai want to make people aware that children also have their rights, the basic rights which they need to be provided. When the basic rights are not provided to these children, that is, and it's not provided properly, that is child abuse. They are not given proper food, clothing, shelter, not sent to school, when they are physically beaten. That's all child abuse cases which you see around. So, 19th November is observed as an International Day for Prevention of Child Abuse, and El Shaddai Charitable Trust is having this day observed across Goa. This is the 5th year that they'll be having stage program in Azad Maidan in Panjim. So, there are, besides this positive points which I shared, there are some points that we need to highlight. So, I would like to take a view of Mr. Matthew. What do you think, so that what as a state, Goa, what more improvement can we do, like when to prevent children from abuse?
Okay. So, Goa has taken a lot of initiative. Now there are children's courts in most of the states, practically every state. And there is a child right law is passed on a national level. But Goa was the first state to frame the child right laws as a state. And it's true that the law is law is in place, but we have a problem of implementation. If you look around, now when you look into Goa, there are two dimensions of problem. One is a problem with the children of the migrants, and the children of the migrants are the children are totally deprived. They don't get education, they live in slums, street, construction sites. You know, there is a law that contractor has to provide the child care, but most of the child care I have seen in the construction sites are Mickey Mouse ones. They really don't help the children. And according to my opinion, the contractor who brings the laborers to work, he must make sure they give a decent accommodation, at least a room. And at present what happened, these children also are in construction site. And they are the children, all the rights are denied. They don't have any access to food or shelter or education or development or any participation. So they are totally denied.
Okay.
Then we have the children of the Goan families. They are quite well looked after. Goan families. Goa is one of the affluent states in India, and we are good in education. Most of the rights are established, but there is a lot of physical and emotional and sexual abuse take place in all over Goa.
Okay.
And it's a, wherever there is human being, there is abuse.
Okay.
It's a integral part. But if there is strong law enforcement, this can be prevented in a big time. So schools are still using sticks to beat the children, though it's illegal. The last week it was in the Chennai court that one teacher was fined 50,000 rupees for pinching a child. So I like to say to everybody, all the teachers, be careful, if you ever pinch a child, it may cost you 50,000 rupees, which was a very good judgment. So then a lot of children are emotionally abused, you know. A lot of parents don't know what is positive parenting. They abuse a child, they like hitting a child on the head or pinching a child or beating the child or using foul languages, which is very, very common, which is very bad.
Yes, yes.
See, every kind of word and every kind of action that you take with children, it gets registered in child's mind, because a child is made up of what the parents and the society provided. So if a child is grow up with a lot of condemnation, when he grow up, all that he knows is to condemn others. So if a child is sexually abused, he is very prone to abuse others when he grow up.
Yes.
So there is a problem, big problem we have, which we need to address.
Yes, as it is said that every individual, every human being is a product of its past. So same is with the children. When children grow up, what has happened to the children, that is what they are going to give back to the society. So I would like to ask Mrs. Candy, what is your view? Like you have been visiting Goa for almost so many years now, and so many times you have come to Goa. So I'm sure that you have observed, or you might have you might try to help some children who are abused. So what is your opinion? What is your point of view?
Yes, I have been coming to Goa now for about 4 years, and I've been visiting Goa for a number of times over that period, and I've travelled in other parts of India. I suppose over the last 4 years I have seen an increase, I think, in the number of children who are out on the streets. I don't know whether that's my view or whether that is statistically correct, but certainly on the streets, in terms of, as you mentioned, working on the street, begging on the street, there seems to be an increase in the number of mothers with babies who are on the streets as well in the markets. And that really concerns me. Obviously, when I see it, I think about those children and, as you say, about what they're being deprived of education. I'm worried about their health. You know, they're under the sun all day. You see children on the beaches who are coming and begging in the shacks, and they are at prey for all sorts of individuals, basically. They're vulnerable children. They're dancing in front of people who are coming into Goa and leaving Goa. So they're vulnerable for being exploited, sexually exploited. And there have been several newspaper articles I've seen recently about that, and about the cases that are being reported. So I was thinking about, like you said at the beginning, how does Goa protect these children? What is being provided for them? And I suppose from my own point of view, I was thinking about how do these children learn to trust people again? And also how do adults around them foster that trust? And I was sort of very interested in what's being done in terms of training other people about that, and about training people in homes and training teachers, as you say, and training anybody, in fact. We all have a responsibility for children in our society. So just being aware of how to protect children, what they need, and what they need for their basic rights as individuals.
Now, you worked in National Health Service in England for 27 years. And you had 50 therapists working under you. So what is your opinion? What could be done positively to bring a change? Or according to your experience, what is the damage mentally it can cause for a child?